What's up, gamers? This is YuBan with a Mechabellum replay commentary series against Prince Bojji, aka Woot. We recently played against this player on ladder for 3 games in a row, and each game turned out to be very unique in their own ways. For those of you who don't know Woot, he is an avid streamer who has reached the high 24 MMR range. He's known for his unique style of always pushing one side of the map, and then closing out games with clever beacon and jump drive plays. With that being said, let's jump into round 1. Knowing Woot's unique playstyle, we decided to go for Aerial Specialist with Steel Ball. This starting pack, Steel Ball and Fangs, is theoretically not the best aggro pack because the Fangs simply don't keep up with the Steel Balls in speed. However, we decided to pick this because we wanted to play a very powerful composition, the Wraith and Steel Ball composition. Woot, on the other hand, decided to go for the Training Specialist with Sledgehammers and Crawlers, placing vertical Sledgehammers on his usual right side push, vertical against our Steel Balls, hoping to lock them up one by one. Instead of meeting Woot in a headbutt like we intended to, because we saw the Sledgehammers opening, we decided, hey, let's avoid fighting him head on. He's got a very slow army of Sledgehammers. We can instead focus on pushing the other side, hoping for a favorable tower timing as we go from our side to his left tower, and then hopefully swinging to the right side to clean up the tower and cleaning up the rest of the army. And because we're planning on playing Wraith, we did not pick up any chaff clear units, hoping to put the Wraith somewhere here or here later on. Instead, just going for the one pack of Fangs, vertical, 1 square next to the tower, slightly in front with 2 squares poking out. This is to prevent any kind of Stormcaller cheese if the opponent chooses to go Stormcallers on the line. Let's see how our tower timing pans out. Seems like we get the first tower timing with 2 balls going here. It would be amazing if we can lock onto this level 2 Arclight during the tower debuff. Let's see. Unfortunately, we locked on, but the unfavorable tower timing ended up going to waste, and our Steel Balls ended up doing no damage and just dying to this powerful level 2 Arclight with the Sledgehammer support. This right here is fantastic as we're able to get tower experience on both, getting all the Sledgehammers and getting a level 2 Arclight in the process. Round 2. Woot immediately decided to pick up the mass-produced Wasp. On our side, we decided to pick up the Heavy Armor. This is a phenomenal item on a Wraith, or even better on leveled Steel Balls, as we notice that both of our Steel Balls are on the verge of leveling. But let's bring our attention to what Woot decided to do. He picked up the mass-produced Wasp, reducing their cost to 100. They're essentially air chaff at this point, and putting 3 packs right in our deep flank, going for a crazy tower cheese. And I'm looking at this, you'll notice that he plays jump drive as well, so we can only anticipate that once we see this, we know we can anticipate some really annoying jump drive play. On our side, because we picked up the heavy armor, I did not have enough supply to recruit a level 1 Wraith with another 100 supply for chaff. So we decided to just bite the bullet on this second round and get 2 packs of chaff and level up our tower. recognizing that these sledgehammers and arc lights will have a hard time dealing with the level 2 tower. Look at this right here. This is a crazy play on round 2. With Woot adding these 3 packs of Wasp, getting the first wave of tower debuff, our steel balls in the middle that's swinging over is going to have a hard time even cleaning up 1 or 2 units here. And because all of our fangs have died, we just lose by default. However, that's not before we grab a nice level on the steel balls, and these are going to come in handy later on against these medium-sized units. Round 3 unit reinforcement. I immediately pick up the Rhino because I wanted to be very aggressive pushing into this tower, and once again recognizing with these essentially nerfed Wasp and these light units, he's going to have a hard time even killing the Wasp. And from here, using the rest of our supply, we recruited 2 Wraiths. Originally thinking about putting the Wraith right here to aid with our push, I decided to put it right behind this pack of Crawler. You'll notice that I positioned the Wraith far enough that the edge of its attack range hits the deep flank line, recognizing the Wasp without AA or without range enhancement. They have a lower range than our Wraith. And because they're mass produced, if our opponent chooses not to do the jump drive and keep the Wasp here, our Wraith are going to have a good time. When playing against Woot, knowing that he runs jump drive and he's going to be very smart and clever with how he jumps the Wasp every single round, instead of trying to guess where he's going to place his Wasp, we just chose to go for 2 Wraith in a defensive posture, covering our deep flanks and also far forward enough that's just behind the tower that it can eventually move forward to defend the front of the tower, or perhaps even aiding with our steel bolt push. That is our line of thinking. From here, I placed a Rhino in the center and another Rhino in the mid flank here, just trying to put some tower pressure on this guy here, hoping for better tower debuff timing. Woot decided to click the jump right button, but instead of jump driving and moving them away, he just doubled down on his Wasp deep flank, putting down 3 more packs. And luckily we chose to go for this defensive Wraith positioning, immediately grabbing a level and cleaning up all 6 packs of mass-produced Wasp. I think Woot in that case was probably trying to bait us into thinking he's going to jump drive away the Wasp, and hoping that we would just ignore this deep flank completely. Luckily, our defensive play worked out in the end. Round 4 reinforcement. We are looking at either the underground threat for a backline tower debuff, or an item that is good for the steel ball or our Wraith. I typically don't like to pick up this item, especially on round 4, because it's so expensive. However, in this case, we have multiple amazing targets to put the items on. If our steel balls don't work out in the end, we can sell them and put the item on the Wraith. If whatever reason the steel ball doesn't work out and the Rhinos are doing a phenomenal job, we can also put a heavy item onto the Rhino. So that is our line of thinking to lead to this really early item pickup of a big item. Here, Woot decided to light our side of the board on fire, slowing down our push, selling out of his units, and started to go into what he's the most well known for, the Overlord push. He runs Overlord Artillery, Jump Drive, and Mothership, making it a very powerful aggro push, as he can just simply beacon the unit towards the tower, clean up all the chaff, and use the Chin Gun to get an early tower debuff. And they're also just phenomenal units into our Wraith. From there, Woot decided to go for the underground crawlers, putting it into the back corner, delaying this pack of Wraith, recognizing that without the Wraith here, these Wasps are just going to go to town and destroy everything we throw at him. However, you can see that these level 2 steel balls with the super heavy armor are able to walk through the fire, tank the damage of 6 packs of Wasp and the Vulcan, and get a early tower debuff that we much needed. Let's see if this guy can lock on and get another tower debuff to help with our push. Doesn't seem like it. In this case, with only the Overlord left, I think we're going to lose the round. Round 5, Reinforcement. We are already into range Wraith, so we do not need any more chaff clear in Fire Badger or Tarantula. Opponent is selling out of the sledgehammers, so the Raidens are just going to simply die to the Overlord. Even though the Phantom Rays don't do any better into the Overlord, at least there are 3 packs, and we want to utilize our aerial spec buff to make these units just a little bit stronger, thinking that if we can chaff clear well enough, perhaps a few of these Phantom Rays can lock up on the Overlord, and with its slow attack speed, maybe we can even take it out in the process. From here, we leveled our Wraiths, grabbing the range enhancement, leveling our steel balls, and we sold out of this initial level 1 Rhino with an item to transfer this item onto the level 2 steel balls. Now when you look at this pack of steel balls has 100,000 combined HP, while these guys have 60 to 70,000 HP altogether. And we decided to pick up one more Wraith, recognizing that we were pretty weak into pushing into this tower against the Mass Wasp. So these guys, we put them right behind the Fangs, far enough back that they can utilize the range advantage to help to stay back, while the steel balls can perhaps run forward and tank for the Wraiths. On Woot's side, you'll see a very typical style of setup from him. A vertical streamline of chaff, just non-stop, continuous, guarding a carry unit, in this case the Overlord, with Chin Gun, intensive training to level 3, and then putting down one more crawler in front. These 2 crawlers are crucial in Woot's success, as if we were to target this big unit with a melting point, we would just be shooting on chaff all day long. For us, we wanted to put down perhaps a distraction crawler on the side, decided to go otherwise, and recognizing we need some DPS. Even if our Wraith can clear all the chaff in the world, we need something to take care of this Overlord. So we picked up a pack of Phoenix. This Sentry Missile ended up being really good, taking out an entire pack of Wasp, allowing our Wraith to just have an even easier time clearing all the chaff. But look at this stream of chaff coming in. Even with the level 2 Wraith, it still took us forever to clear everything. However, with a fortunate tower timing with our super powerful level 2 steel balls with items on the right side, on the left side, we're able to clear everything on the right before a tower debuff can occur. And with this second tower debuff, holy crap, we even took down the level 3 raid boss of Overlord. Round 6 reinforcement. Bombard is Bombard. It's amazing. We're not going to pick up the mass-produced Wraith to nerf our own Wraith that's on the board. And in this case, we recognize Wood is putting down a lot of chaff on the right side, abandoning the left side with just oil play, trying to slow down the steel balls. So let's put down the Bombard on the right side, taking down some chaff, allowing our Phantom Ray and level 2 Phoenix to do some work. From here, we picked up another Wraith to guard this left side of the tower, seeing that the stream of chaff that was coming in earlier was just too hard, too much for one Wraith to handle. Putting down a Phoenix in the back, Bombard right here, accounting for the units moving into the attack range. I probably should have put this a little bit more forward to account for units moving in with speed. And on round 6, you can see Woot going for the lone temp range, temp speed, adding 2 more Overlord, and decided to just do his classic angled beacon play, pushing into the tower, swinging into the second tower, with even more Wasp on the side here for additional chaff. For us, we recognize that our Wraith are picking up good levels and experience, so perhaps the 8 gun can help us, one, with clearing speed against the chaff, and maybe we can even play into some kind of carry damage dealing Wraith if we were to get high enough levels and with some items. Let's see how Woot's beacon play turns out. What makes this powerful is that if you don't have any chaff in front, the Chin gun will just take care of the tower so easily, even at level 2. Luckily, with our streams of crawlers coming in and our superior chaff clear speed, followed by this fortunate tower timing at the same time that Woot got our tower debuff, we were able to clean up Woot's strong pushing side and claim the game in just 6 rounds. In summary, we started the game with Steel Balls and Fangs looking to play Wraith and Steel Balls against Woot. However, upon seeing that he started out with Sledgehammers, we decided to push the opposite side of his tower, not wanting a headbutt in an unfavorable situation. On round 2, Woot went for the mass-produced Wasp, triple deploying in this deep flank right here. That won him the second round very handily. On round 3, with the extra supply, we went for 2 Wraiths behind the tower in a defensive posture. We positioned our Wraith just far enough from the line so we can reach the edge of the line without range enhancement. We chose to go for a defensive posture with our Wraiths because we didn't want to be playing the guessing game with Woot with his jump drive Wasp. From here, thinking once we solidify our defense, we can start to focus on our push. At the same time, because our steel balls were getting levels and we had fantastic HP buffing items, we were able to just repeatedly push through the left side tower with no challenges. From here, we reinforced the right side defense with triple Phantom Ray unit drop, with some Phoenix in the back and 8 gun Wraith. This game was super unique as we have never encountered 6 deployments of mass-produced Wasp in our deep flank before. I hope you enjoyed this exciting back and forth game against Prince Bojji, aka Woot. We have 2 more games upcoming in this exciting best out of 3 ladder series. Stay tuned. Until next time.